This is our yang energy. Stretch, open everything up. Look at the hand behind, then come down, compress. So first we're expanding, we're turning our body into a pump. Breathe in, then we compress. Breathe in, just pulling down the heavens. Breathe out. Gonna do one more time. Breathe in. Breathe out. All right, so the movement we're doing today is called tracing a wall. So it's as if you're standing with your hands on a wall. I'll just do it once for you. And so it's going to be breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. You might say, is that all there is, Kurt? But like all Qigong Tai Chi movements, you're only seeing about 10% of what's going on. So first of all, there's a breathing exercise. So we're going to do a few breathing things to make sure everybody is breathing properly while they do it. So the first thing is we want to always do abdominal breathing. As we get older, our breath comes up in our chest. We want to push that down into our abdomen so that we can keep massaging our internal organs with every breath and getting digestion, elimination, and respiration going properly. So we'll just start out by doing some abdominal breathing. So you can put your thumbs in your navel, your hands go down, and then relax your shoulders. You're going to breathe in. Your abdomen goes out. Breathe out. Pull your abdomen. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out, abdomen in. Breathe in. Relax your shoulders. You want to be standing straight. Knees are slightly bent. You've got eggs in your armpit. You don't want to have your arms tied up against your body. We're trying to make energy and fluids flow through our body, so we don't want to clog up any of our joints. So breathe in. Breathe out. So you want to practice this. This is the way you should be practicing breathing 100% of the time. So is your first part of your practice. If you're just starting, you can try being aware of your breath and just go around, and pretty soon you'll be doing this 100% of the time. Like when you're grocery shopping or sitting at your desk, you're going to be doing this. So breathe in, breathe out. This is called natural breathing. You're breathing, when you breathe in, your abdomen expands, breathe out. Now, sometimes when you're practicing, you can be using, like when you're doing Tai Chi, you're doing natural breathing because it's relaxing. It affects your vagus nerve. It's very calming. It removes anxiety. When you're practicing, you might want to also add on. So you breathe in, it's the same. Your abdomen goes up. But when you breathe out, now you push down your diaphragm. You pull up your pelvic floor. You pull in your floating ribs, and you're trying to touch your navel to your spine. So you're going to breathe in. This is all, the first part's relaxed. But when you breathe out, you're compacting your internal organs, kind of giving them a squeeze, trying to get fluids and energy flowing through. So breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out, compact your internal organs. The other thing that you normally do when you're practicing is when you breathe in, your tongue goes to the top of your mouth. And when you breathe out, compact your internal organs and you drop your tongue down. This is trying to create saliva. We're trying to generate fluid. We dry out as we get older, so we want to generate fluids within our body. So breathe in, relax, tongue up. Breathe out. Impact your internal. You have to squeeze really hard, but you want the intent. You want to be pulling up your, like I said, your pelvic floor, perineum. So breathe in, breathe out. All right. This is not the breathing we're going to be using today. There's another one. The two main ways that you breathe are either natural breathing, which we just learned. The other one's called embryonic breathing. When the embryo's in the mother's womb, it's connected by the navel on the umbilical cord. So to get nutrients, it pulls in its stomach, and that sucks in nutrients. And then when it wants to get rid of its waste, its stomach goes out. So we're going to do embryonic breathing for this movement, which is breathe in. When you breathe in, your abdomen comes in, and when you breathe out, it relaxes. So breathe in, and part of pulling in your navel is you want to pull up your perineum, pull up your rectum. Breathe out. Breathe in. Tongue goes up. Perineum's squeezing, and then breathe out, relax everything. So what's the difference between when you do natural breathing, where you do that to relieve anxiety and to relax? When you do abdominal embryonic breathing, you can think of it as when you breathe in, you're trying to push energy up your spine to your brain. So this is for creating chi, right? Breathe out. Breathe in. Navel comes in. Squeeze, pull up your rectum, and then visualize energy flowing up your spine to your head. And then breathe out. Everything relaxes. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Okay, so this is embryonic breathing. So when we're doing this form, we're going to use that. So, okay, so that's the breathing. Now we'll skip to jumping over to the hands. So you're up against the wall. Your hands are touching a wall. So with this, how far away is the wall? If you completely relax your body and just bring your hands up, your hands are just out. That's about the distance they should be. When you're doing all your Tai Chi movements, this is called your palm distance. You're here. You do this distance. It's relaxed. This is the most you have power over this area. So when you're doing, you just go like this, and then when you do your movements, holding the golden chi ball or doing wave hands like clouds, that's the distance. If you do closer, people often do this, holding this little ball that shuts everything up. Energy can't flow. So you want to use this distance, and that's how far away the wall is. So it's about this distance. Now we're tracing a wall. So what happens is we're going to make like an oval on the wall, and when you do, remember your hands stay on the wall. So you're here, they stay on the wall, then they turn over, and then when they come up, they're on the wall. So you're not like reaching out and coming in. You're not doing this. You're staying on the wall the whole time. So we'll just do a few of those. So we're here. You're going to breathe in. Your hands come up. Touch the wall. Breathe out. They go down the wall, and they get to the wall, and they cross. But they're still, you haven't pulled them in. They're still against the wall. Then you go up. Breathe in. Breathe out. So it's a 2-breath exercise. Breathe in. Come up. Your hands come up against the wall. Go out slightly. Breathe out. They drop down, touching the wall. And then they fold over. Breathe in. The back of your hands come up, touching the wall. They get about here. Turn over. You go in. So we'll do 3 sets of this. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. And then breathe in. Breathe out, hands against the wall. Here, breathe in, back your hands against the wall. Breathe out. Now, this movement is to get energy and chi flowing through your body. So as a result, when you do that, no parts of your body can be tense because that stops energy and fluids from flowing. So your shoulder, when you're here, your shoulders relax. When we come up to move our hands, we're not making a big circle because what's happening, we're lifting our shoulders. We just make a small circle, come out relaxed, stay relaxed, come down, come up to about the level of our throat, and then they just separate. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. So we're going to do it, when we do it, we're going to do abdominal breathing. You have 3 hearts in Chinese medicine. So your heart in your chest, your second heart is your abdomen. So when we do our abdominal breathing, that's going in and out. So we have our second heart beating. So since this is for circulation, we have to get our third heart beating. Our third heart is our calves. So what's going to happen is the way we get our calves beating is we move our hips up and down. Okay, so in this movement, if you can, if you have to move your feet out, that's fine. You have to adjust the movement for your body. But if you can, you want to have your feet pointing forward. Okay, and then your toes, you're bending in the direction of your big toe, and then you want your back stays against the wall and your head straight. Chin is very slightly down, so you're trying to straighten the back, and as you go up and down, this exaggerates. When you're up here, you're in your horse back, and then when you come down here, you're in your turtle back, and that means that your pelvis is slightly out, and then as you come down, it rolls under just an inch. So what we're trying to do is get our fluids flowing in our spine. So what we're going to do is we drop down, our back's against the wall. So you can't go very low normally unless you've been practicing a lot. So we're basically doing this, go up. We don't lock our legs because once again, locking our joints stops energy from flowing. So we go up and then come down. You see, what we're doing here is we're actually strengthening our lower body because since we're bending, we're using the major muscles of our legs, but part of the focus right now is we're engaging the calves. So as we go down and then we push up, so as you go down, you can sink into your heels. Your feet are staying flat on the floor, but then you kind of push up, and so you should feel your calves relax and tense. That's your third heart's now beating. So your legs are supposed to support the circulation in your body. So if you sit all day, it's really bad for your circulation. This is why walking, you're not practicing something. If you still walk, that engages your lower body and helps that circulation supports your heart. Your circulation gets better. All right, so going up and down. So what we're going to do is when we breathe in, we're going to go slightly up, breathe out, sink down, breathe in, come up, breathe out. So breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. Okay, so see, we've done everything. Yeah, we've got our breathing, we've got our hand movement. So when we're doing the breathing, remember, we're doing embryonic breathing. So we come up, we pull up our rectum, pull in our navel, and then when we go down, we relax everything. So breathe in, and our tongue goes up, and then breathe out, it drops down. So Breathe in. What we're trying to do is we're trying to direct chi energy and fluids to flow up our body. And then as we relax, we let, we kind of squeeze to get the fluids and energy flowing up. And then as we relax, fresh nutrients and oxygen can go back in. So, all right, now got to do all of them together. So here we go. So we're putting our hands here. We'll just do this with going up and down. So we're going to breathe in, come up, out slightly, breathe out, touching the wall. We sink down and cross our hands. And as we come up, the back of our hands come up, breathe in, just below our neck, and then breathe out, sink down. So breathe in, tongue up, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, embryonic breathing, pull everything in, breathe out, relax everything, and stay on the wall. Breathe in, come up, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out, relax everything, breathe in, breathe out. All right, so this is a little more advanced. If you can, you don't want to be half dead, half alive, which is you don't want to just breathe with the front. We're trying to breathe with our entire body. So when you come up, when you inhale, you try to also expand in the back. We're trying to, instead of breathing like this with our abdomen, we want to breathe, see if we can expand in the back, in the front. So we want to be, obviously the abdomen's going to move more, but you kind of want this as opposed to this. So we're going to come up, we'll just practice that a bit. So we're here, breathe in. You can kind of feel you're pushing against the kidneys a bit, breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. So breathe in. Pull everything in. Breathe out. Just relax. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. So now we're trying to breathe like a baby. Babies breathe with their whole body. So actually when you come up, you can kind of like expand your entire body. Even you can open your hands slightly. You're not doing anything, but it's just enough. We're trying to move things. So there's a little bit extra circulation in your hands and your arms. So we'll start here. Breathe in. Breathe out. Drop your hips. We want to engage the calves. Breathe in. Breathe out. So you've got eggs in your armpits. You want to make sure that you don't crush them by pulling in too far. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Pull everything in. Breathe out. Relax everything. Breathe in. Hands against the wall. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. And then one more. Breathe in. Breathe out. Okay, so you can also use this. So that's, if you're just trying to relax, trying to get energy and fluids flowing through your body, you can use this. If you want to also try to build up your breathing ability, what we're going to do is we're going to breathe in, then we're going to stop, and we're going to hold they call it closing your breath. I'll just call it holding, so it's easier to remember. You're holding your breath in a relaxed way. You're not holding it tight. You're still relaxed, but we're going to hold it for 4 heartbeats. And then we come down as we breathe out. You stop here for 4 heartbeats. Come in. Stop here, 4 heartbeats. And of course here, 4 heartbeats. So when you're just starting, what we'll try to do the 4 heartbeats. You try to extend it as that becomes simple. You can extend it to 6, 8. As many. You pick some number, and it should get longer and longer. Right now, because we're starting, when you get to the second part, you've been holding your breath for quite a while, so you can do like 4 heartbeats, and then when you're here, you can do 2 heartbeats, and then come up 4 heartbeats, 2 heartbeats. All right. So here we go with this one. So we're going to go here. So breathe in. Okay. Hold. Breathe out. Hold. Breathe in. Hold. Sorry, we're supposed to stop here. Breathe out. Okay, breathe in. We'll do a couple more. Breathe in. Hold. Breathe out. Hold. Breathe in. Breathe out. 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 One more set. Breathe in. Rise up. Breathe out. Sink down. Relax everything. Breathe in. Squeeze your lower body. Pull in your navel. Embryonic breathing. Tongue up. And then breathe out. All right, so we're going to I'll just do a few more without the holding, but as you see, this become as challenging as you want. If you're trying to build up your ability to hold your breath, build up your respiratory system. So you could come up, you could hold, like I said, we're starting with about 3-4 seconds, 4 heartbeats, but you can go, try to build it up, do 8 and 6 or something. So, over time, if you do it every day, over time, you should be able to build up and be able to hold your breath much longer. We're just going to go through moving it slowly just so you remember everything. So we're here. So we come up, our hips come up, our back stays straight. And then you breathe out as you come down. Your back stays against the wall. Breathe in. Coming up, you're not locking your legs. Breathe out. You're bending your legs. Breathe in, come up, expand. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. So this is, like I said, this is to work on your circulation, plus because we're doing the embryonic breathing. So pull everything in and then relax. Pull everything in, navel in. Breathe out. Relax everything. Breathe in, navel in, breathe out, relax. Breathe in, pull in the navel, breathe out. You want to make sure you're not going too wide, because as soon as you start going too big, things are going to start tightening up. You just want to stay relaxed. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, tongue up. Breathe out. Your eyes, what are you doing with your eyes? Your eyes are just kind of looking around. You're looking forward, but you're not actually looking at something. You're just kind of perceiving your environment. Breathe in, pull in your navel. If you want to visualize something, you visualize. You breathe in, energy, the chi you're generating is flowing up your back to your brain, and then as you breathe out, it flows down the front of your body into your abdomen. So breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. Okay, if you've been doing that the whole time, that means you've been going up and down. So for 25 minutes, you've been going up and down. So you might feel it in your calves. When you actually go to practice this, you can just do it to start. Do it, 2-3 times a day for 3 to 5 minutes. It's also, it's generate a little bit more energy chi, because as I said, the reason that you do embryonic breathing is to create chi. The reason that you do a natural breathing is to disperse anxiety and relax. Usually when you do your Tai Chi, you're doing natural breathing, because Tai Chi is supposed to be very relaxed and dispersing. So what we'll just do, got a couple minutes left in our lesson, 3 minutes left. So we'll do the other thing, which is we're supposed to be stretching. We'll do a fun thing. There's sounds for each organ. In the spring, the organ is the liver. Color is green because there's exuberant growth. And what we want to do is we want to purge our liver. So you're going to put your hand on the right side of your body. So you should be facing this way. Your hand's on this side because your liver's over here. And what we're going to do is we're going to breathe in. And as we breathe out, we're going to lean. We're going to lift up the rib cage off the liver. And then we're going to relax. So we want to give the liver a chance to expand, get new nutrients, and then come down. But we also want to push out the old nutrients. So what they do in Chinese medicine is each organ has a sound. So anger resides in the liver, so you want to purge the anger. And what do you say when you get angry? You have a lot of SH words. Sheesh, sheesh, that makes me angry. So we use, that's the sound that you use to purge that organ, the natural sound that we make. So you're going to breathe in, and then as we lean, shh. This is called the healing sound. Breathe in, breathe out. Expel all the air, as much air as you can, because you want to push out any kind of negative energy out of your liver. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. So the other thing they do with the healing sound is there's animals associated with each thing. And for the spring, for the system we use, the animal is the deer. And what we're trying to do is, we're trying to stretch things. So the liver, there's two organs. One is the liver and the other one's the gallbladder. Gallbladder meridian starts in your head and runs down your back. So you want to stretch that and get the kinks out of it. And so what we do that by stretching. Well, we don't just stretch, we're a deer. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna make like 2 antlers and put them like next to your ears, and you're gonna bend down a bit. You're gonna breathe in, and then we're gonna look up, and it's like we're deer trying to reach up and get some leaves off some low branches. So we're gonna breathe in. We're coming down. Come here. Breathe out. You can just either stretch, or if you have balance concerns, just stretch. But if you aren't worried about that, you can actually go slightly up, like you're really trying to reach for that branch. And of course, we're here, and we want to purge. So this is stretching our back, stretching our gallbladder meridian. And then, of course, this is about the healing sound. So we're down. And one more. All right, our gallbladders and our livers are thanking you right now. So we're going to pull down the heavens to finish up the lesson again. So you reach up, expand everything. Breathe out, compress. Breathe in. Breathe out. And breathe in. Breathe out. And then we say, body, mind, we clap for ourselves because we did something good for our body and our mind. All right, so what happens now is we have a Q&A question. If you have questions, short question and answer period. These, if you want to watch these, our site is Quality of Life Now, QOL, Quality of Life, QOLnow.com. You can go to the Sunday review page and you'll see this lesson and last week's lesson. If you want to give a donation, we're always happy to take a donation. We actually have a fair number of expenses to keep the lesson running. The other thing you can do is if you go to our site, QOLnow.com, you can either sign up. We have a couple hundred videos on there. So you can either sign up and have access to some of them, or you can become a premier member for $4 a week. What a bargain. And then you can have access to all, I think there's about 200 of them. Right now I'm reworking the site, so it's easier to find things. And so I've been working over the last couple, probably the next month, I'll try to fix it up so it's easy for you to find things, and there'll be courses and stuff like that. All right, so waiting for Peggy upstairs to call us, but there we go. Hello? Hello?
Okay, so the sound for the gallbladder is the same as the liver. Do you go straight down with deer, or does the rear go back?
Okay, so there's a question on the deer thing. Yes, the sound for the gallbladder and the liver are the same sound. And so, yeah, normally when you do your movements, we go like this, up and down, because we want to, if you do that, that opens up, keeps our back straight, lets energy flow through, and it opens up our lower body and makes us do with this, it's a little bit higher. I do stick the question was, did I stick my rear end up? And because I'm getting low and I'm kind of reaching up, I'm kind of making a circle. So in this one, I am bending forward a bit and sticking my butt out a lot. You don't want to go really low, but you're kind of going up, coming down. All right. Next question.
Do you offer virtual certification?
do we offer virtual certification? Um, all right, I guess we can offer anything virtually, and that doesn't really matter. I assume what you mean is, can you get certified over the online? I I don't. I have my you. I do work with some people who do certification. A lot of the forms that I teach, I would say 2/3 of the form I teach are from them. It's zenwellness.com. Anyway, and they have an online certification course where basically what you do is you learn to get the first level of certification. There's the 5 seasons, so you kind of learn the movement for each season, which is the 8 brocades and the golden chi ball, and you learn bone tapping, and you learn the healing sounds, and you get those, and then you have to send in some tapes of you teaching them, and then you get a certification. So that's Zen Wellness. I don't. Their certification is actually, when you get it, it's got all these stamps on for all these different organizations that recognize them. I don't really have a school or teach. I probably at some point, if we keep going, and like I said, I'm organizing the website. I'll probably get it so there you learn each of the things, and then I guess you could go over there and get certified. I'd have to set up like an organization and then go around to those other organizations like the American, Tai Chi Society and a bunch of other ones, and have them recognize my certificate. So right now, no, I don't give it. I don't give a certificate. You have to go to some place like Zen Wellness. I teach. If you come to the class, I'm teaching you all the stuff that they'll teach you, but you'll get a certificate over there. You watch The Wizard of Oz with the scarecrow, the certificate is the important thing to have people take you serious. Okay, next question.
Is there any modification of the exercise where gallbladder has been?
Is there any modification of the exercises because your gallbladder has been removed? And actually, the answer is no, unless the removal made it so it would limit some kind of movement. In Chinese medicine, you have both a physical body and an energy body. And if you have an organ removed, from your physical body, you still have it in the energy body. So you still do all the movements for that organ, even though you don't have, in this case, the gallbladder, even though you don't have it anymore.
Can you recommend one bladder energy strengthening?
You enter one. Let's see. Oh, sorry. You probably can't hear. The question is, can you recommend a bladder energy movement? Depends what you mean. There's a lot of movements. The kidney, the bladder, urinary bladder, as opposed to the gallbladder. So when people say bladder, they usually mean the urinary bladder, which goes with the kidney. So if you do kidney strengthening movements, the bladder, if you're talking about the gallbladder, like the one that we're doing, and actually a lot of the ones where you're stretching, the gallbladder is like an important meridian, and so any of these things where you stretch your back, reaching things, that's good for your gallbladder meridian. Same thing when you're actually stretching. We do gather the sun to press the earth. That's stretching your back too, so that's good for your gallbladder. If you want to energize your bladder, I would do some kidney movements, which we kind of do. We also do like you're rubbing your hands, and one of the ones for the seated 8 brocades is you rub your hands until they get really hot, and then you take that and you massage your kidneys and try to get the energy from your hands to flow into your kidneys, and that strengthens your water system. Okay.
She meant the urinary bladder.
Yeah, okay, that. Like I said, if people just say bladder, they usually mean the urinary bladder. Um, so like I said, you work on kidney movements because the kidney and the bladder are the water system. The wood system is the gallbladder and the liver. So if you strengthen your kidneys and a lot of the things, if you where you actually when you're doing your abdominal breathing, not the kind of very relaxed one, but when you're pulling everything up, you're kind of strengthening your lower body, and because you're pulling up your pelvis, you're squeezing your pelvis, and when you do the embryonic breathing, you're also pulling up your rectum. So you're kind of pulling everything up. You're trying to strengthen down there, get more energy and control down there. Otherwise, like I said, I would do the kidney. The kidney sound is chew, and usually what you do there is you rub your kidneys. I'm holding my phone, so you have your hands back here and you go chew, chew, and then the animals, the bear. So you make a bear claw, which you just bend the top. Their claws are like this. They have a big palm, and then they have right at the top. They have their claws come out. So you just bend the top, and then you put one hand, and you turn and look over your shoulders. You say the sound, and that is kind of squeezing your kidneys. So it would be. You'd alternate sides. You'd go to the other side. So these movements that you're doing this are massaging your kidneys. And like I said, and pulling up your pelvic floor when you're doing the breathing while you're practicing should strengthen your pelvic area. So if you just do a lot of the things, it should naturally strengthen those systems, the movements that we show you. Okay.
On tracing the wall, does it matter which hand is on top when hands cross?
Tracing the wall, which hand is on top. I come down, and then when I cross, I usually have the right hand on the inside, and then when you come up, they turn over and turn over. So I'm let's see. I wasn't told that one hand had to be on. I'm just trying to see how I do it. So yeah, I have my left hand on top. I turn over. When you turn over, your right hand's on the back. So here, your left hand's touching the wall. And when you turn over, your right hand. So both hands are rubbing against the wall at some point. When I come down, I have my left in the back. When you do Tai Chi, there's movements where you reach, and then when you come down, your left hand is on the back, and then when you turn your hands over, the left hand is facing you. So that's why I do it that way, because it's in part of the Tai Chi forms. Any other questions?
Someone's confused if you are mirroring us or not. I think not, because of the hand you were using to put over your liver.
Okay. So if there, am I mirroring you? Sometimes I do, and sometimes I don't. If I'm trying to get you to like use the right hand or the left hand, I try to mirror you. But for the liver, my liver, if I mirror you on the liver, I got my hand over my heart. So when I do the liver things, I usually don't when I'm actually touching a specific